Have you ever experienced a strange feeling where everything in your life seems fine, yet something inside still feels empty? Nothing is obviously wrong. Your life might be stable. You might have a job, routines, responsibilities, and maybe even achievements that other people admire. From the outside, everything looks normal. But internally, something feels missing. Not sadness, not exactly stress, just a quiet sense that something in life doesn't feel fully alive. Many people experience this feeling at some point, but they rarely talk about it. And when they do, the first assumption is usually the same: something must be wrong with my life. But psychology suggests something much more interesting. The feeling of emptiness doesn't always come from having too little in life. Sometimes it comes from having a life that has become too predictable for the brain. To understand this, we need to look at how the human brain actually works. Your brain is constantly trying to predict what will happen next. Prediction is one of the brain's most important survival tools. It allows the mind to prepare for the future, avoid danger, and make decisions quickly. When something becomes predictable, the brain saves energy. It stops paying close attention. Think about the first time you drove a car. At the beginning, every movement required focus. You paid attention to the road, the mirrors, the pedals, every small detail. But after years of driving, something strange happens. You can drive for miles and barely remember the journey. Your brain has learned the pattern, so it runs on autopilot. The same thing can happen in life. When your daily experiences become predictable, your brain stops engaging deeply with them. Your routines become automatic, your environment becomes familiar, your mind begins to wander. And slowly, life starts to feel less vivid. This is where the feeling of emptiness often begins. Not because life is bad, but because the brain is no longer surprised by it. Surprise is one of the most powerful psychological triggers for engagement. When the brain encounters something unexpected, something uncertain, or something new, it releases dopamine. Many people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical, but that description is actually incomplete. Dopamine is more accurately connected to curiosity and motivation. It is what makes the brain feel interested in exploring something. Without curiosity, life can begin to feel emotionally flat. This explains something many people find confusing. A person can have comfort, stability, and security, yet still feel empty. Because comfort alone does not fully engage the human mind. The brain also needs uncertainty. It needs discovery. It needs something that cannot be completely predicted. Think about some of the moments in life when people feel most alive. Learning a new skill, traveling somewhere unfamiliar, starting a new relationship, working toward a challenging goal. None of these situations are perfectly comfortable, but they all have one thing in common. They create curiosity. Curiosity keeps the mind awake. Curiosity keeps attention focused. Curiosity makes life feel meaningful. And when curiosity disappears, life can begin to feel strangely empty, even if nothing is technically wrong. But there is another layer to this feeling that many people don't realize. Sometimes emptiness appears when the brain feels that life has stopped evolving. Human beings are naturally wired to grow, adapt, and explore. When life becomes too repetitive for too long, the mind begins searching for something new. This is why people sometimes feel an unexplained desire to change something in their lives. They might pursue a new hobby. They might change careers. They might start learning something completely unfamiliar. From the outside, it may look like restlessness. But internally, the brain is simply responding to a psychological need, the need to feel engaged again. Interestingly, psychologists have found that people often confuse comfort with fulfillment. Comfort is about stability and safety. Fulfillment is about meaning and engagement. You can have comfort without fulfillment, and when that happens, the mind starts searching for something deeper. This is why some of the most important moments in life often begin with a strange feeling of dissatisfaction. Not extreme unhappiness, just a quiet sense that something inside you is ready for the next chapter. So if you ever feel empty, even when life seems fine, it does not necessarily mean something is wrong. Sometimes it simply means your brain has adapted to your current environment. Your mind has learned the patterns, it has mastered the routine, and now it is quietly searching for something that feels new again, something unpredictable, something challenging, something meaningful. Understanding this can completely change how you see the feeling of emptiness. Instead of seeing it as a problem, you can see it as a signal that your mind may be ready for curiosity again. And curiosity is often where the most interesting parts of life begin. Many people spend years trying to eliminate this feeling, believing it means something is missing. But sometimes the feeling itself is the beginning of change. It is the moment when the mind starts asking deeper questions. What do I really want to explore? What challenges excite me? What kind of experiences make me feel alive? Those questions often lead to the most meaningful decisions people make in their lives. So the next time you feel that quiet sense of emptiness, pause for a moment. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with your life?" ask something different. What is my mind trying to explore next? Because sometimes emptiness is not a sign that life is lacking something. Sometimes it is a sign that your mind is ready to discover something new. And that moment of curiosity is often where the most meaningful chapters of life begin. If this perspective made you think about your own experiences differently, you are definitely not the only one. Many people feel this way without ever understanding what their mind is actually asking for. And the more you understand how your brain works, the easier it becomes to understand yourself. If you enjoy exploring psychology and human behavior like this, make sure to subscribe and like. Because sometimes the most interesting discoveries are not about the world around us. They are about the hidden patterns inside our own minds.